Today we're going to take some drives. And I was kind of thinking of calling it like the life of an aging Tesla or something. I don't know. But yeah, just kind of wanted to talk about, just what it's like to live with a Model 3 that kind of is getting some miles. So as you can see, we're at 64,699, and we're in the Model 3 long range 2022. And, there's been some battery degradation. I need to check my Tessie app. I hate saying that, by the way. Really good app. If I remember, I'll put a referral link in the description for that. It gives you kind of some more in-depth analytical tools to check out like the performance of your car and charging and drives. And I really like it. It's cool. It shows me my exact degradation, at least according to their calculations. And there's kind of just like a steady curve. And my car seems to be within the, the standard or as expected for its age and everything. I mean, the funny thing is, this is not not an old car. I bought it brand new in 2022. So it's, it's not, I don't mean to say an aging Tesla in terms of years, but certainly in terms of miles. Like it really has, I don't know, probably 4 times the amount of miles that most would at this age. So, and that's just, and that's all local pretty much. I have taken a few trips with it. I did take it up to Arcata, California. That's about 700 miles each way. And it's been to San Diego a few times, and it's been to Palm Desert a bunch, and Bakersfield, and, but all kind of, those are all pretty short drives. And we've taken it to Vegas 2 or 3 times. But you know what I mean? It's not like I've driven it to Florida or anything. It's all just been local stuff, all within a day or two of a drive. So this car just kind of sees some regular commuting miles. My job as a musician takes me around to different places. And so each day I'm kind of in a different spot. And today is one of those days where I'm going from just kind of north of Glendale up to Lancaster, California. And then when I'm done there, I'm going to drive to Santa Monica. And then I'm going to drive back here. So I haven't figured out how many miles that is, but I knew it was going to be kind of more than the usual drive. And I wasn't sure that like 80% was going to cut it. So I charged up. I'm up at like 96%. I should have started charging a little earlier. But just kind of what I'm finding, and this could be due to a number of factors. I'm finding that like for me, 80% isn't necessarily enough anymore. And I'm kind of having to buffer in a little bit of extra juice for the day, which I don't think is like a terrible thing. I mean, I paid for the long range battery, so I might as well use the range. That's why I spent the extra money, and also for the power, let's be honest. But, in terms of just my regular driving, which is far, so if I drive like to Orange County and back, I end up home with between 20 and 26%. And that's if I start at like 80%. And that's totally fine because I make it home and I plug in, no problem. And I should preface this by saying, like, I have not been in a situation yet where I've run out of charge. So I'm not complaining about that. It's just like, I guess the idea that maybe if I had to go somewhere else, maybe I wouldn't have enough juice. And in my particular part of town, there are no superchargers. So, so the idea of topping off real quick, well, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be topping off, but just charging up a bit, isn't as feasible. You know what I mean? I would have to kind of plan around that a little bit. And that's where this car becomes less appealing, especially when I have like multiple jobs, and that's where like the gas car rules. And I know I'm going to start to get a lot of hate for saying that, but I'm not expecting that many people to watch this video anyway, so it's fine. Those of you that are here, thank you so much. But, you know, share your comments down below, for or against. I mean, obviously, 60, how many miles? 64, 6, something? I mean, I've done that quickly, and I've done it with, you know, no issue in terms of charging. So it's not, you know, again, I'm not complaining. It's just like, now my car is kind of in a new stage of its life, just in terms of range. So in one of my previous videos, maybe it was my last one, can't remember, I talked about the new tires that I got. I got the Nokia Ones, and like I said, I noticed a significant range decrease when I got these tires, and that would be like my main complaint. So I went from an average of like 240 to 280, and I'm talking about watt hours per mile. And I hope I said that right. Let me make sure. Yeah, watt hours per mile. So yeah, my average since I got the tires, we're looking at 280 watt hours per mile. And that is up from, I think it was 240, maybe it was 250, but pretty sure it was 240. So, so that's a drag. And so that has brought my overall range down significantly, you know, without question. And then the other kind of side to that token is that I do have battery degradation. So, you know, 80% isn't as many miles as it was when the car was new and when the car had its original tires. So, you know, for my next set of tires, I may go back to the original tires that I had on the car. They were just quite expensive, so that kind of scared me away. I just wanted to try something different. The Nokia One, you know, can be had for anywhere between $150 and $200 a tire, which I think is pretty good for an 80,000 mile tread. And, you know, my main concern was tread life, because, you know, in 1 year I could shred through some tires pretty easy. So I was looking for some tires that would maybe last 2 years, maybe longer, and be really good with the rain and everything. Because even though we're in LA and it doesn't rain, I mean, it's usually like this, but when it rains, it rains. I mean, it's like Noah's Ark kind of downpours. So that's why I kind of like the, you know, like these Nokians are just so great in the weather. And I figured if they make a good snow tire, they make a good rain tire. And, you know, that's definitely true. But however, for the sacrifice in range, this may be a one-time purchase. I'm not sure. We'll just see how it pans out. I also need to air up my tires. I had it in for a rotation about, I don't know, 1,500 miles ago, and they didn't touch my air pressure, which, you know, it's a little annoying. It's like, wouldn't you do that? So I'm going to have to top it off. I may stop by a tire store if I see one, or gas station or Costco or something. But yeah, there's that. And of course, like, remember, once you've been driving your car, your air pressure is going to be higher. So, you know, I think if you add between like 3 and 5 pounds over where you want to be cold, you know, you should be good. I've heard people say like 3 pounds. I might do 5 pounds, just overinflate by, you know, a little bit. And, you know, it's going to be a harsher ride, but that's going to give me slightly more efficiency. And, you know, I'll see how that, you know, I want to give these tires like every benefit of the doubt and make sure that I'm being fair. In my last video, I did talk about actually calling Nokia and telling them my issues, and they were not super receptive in the warranty department. So, you know, take that as it is, just being transparent there about the process. I did not enjoy that conversation. First guy was great though. Shout out to whatever his name was. That dude in the warranty department was just straight up rude and, you know, not cool, man. Not cool at all. I was being nice. So, so that's kind of what we're looking at. I'm sorry I got on that tangent, but I was just talking about decreased range and the reasons for it. So as a result of all of that, I do find myself juicing up more and, needing just slightly more in the pack than I previously did. I will end up in Santa Monica this evening, so that's going to be advantageous if I do need to supercharge. I think there is a pretty good infrastructure over there. And once I'm done with work, I don't have to be anywhere other than I just want to go home. So, so I really don't mind supercharging when I don't have in the music business, we call it a downbeat, It's when there's a downbeat that you have to be at, So I don't like supercharging when there's a downbeat, unless I have plenty of extra time. But if there's no downbeat, then sure, I'll take a 5-10 minute break. That's great. I really don't mind just taking a quick rest from the crazy hustle and bustle. You know what I mean? And I've really enjoyed the supercharging experience. It's been really terrific for the most part. Now, granted, on the other side of the token, I would like it to be more like a gas car where you just, you're in and you're out. And I do think we're going to see that, pretty soon, especially as these companies, I know the new Cybertruck has a more high voltage architecture, I think 800 volt. And of course, Kia and Hyundai have been screwing around with that for a few years now, with the Ioniq and everything. So as we start to see chargers that are able to, slam those electrons in a little faster, and rather the cars that can accept that kind of voltage, you're going to see faster charging times. I was watching my friend Kyle's video where he's doing the coast-to-coast race in all the different pickup trucks. And check that out, by the way. It's really, really fun. It's a long video, but really kind of fun to see how all those guys are racing against the network, basically. It's, it's not about speed of driving, it's about speed of charging. And it's a really fun race. I really enjoy it. But it's interesting, one of the trucks has to top charge, because of the charging curve that it has. And then, some of the other trucks are just charging, up to 30%, up to 50%, whatever, until their charging speed tapers. And that's their fastest way of going. And they also end up doing, sorry, my autopilot beep. I lost my train of thought there. But it's kind of the idea of just charging to the curve rather than charging to have a buffer or whatever. And so when I road tripped this car, I was more top charging rather than charging on the curve. I did a couple of short stops to do that, but usually I will charge, to, I don't know, 50 or 60%, and then I'll give it an extra few minutes and throw a buffer in there. But it just depends on my needs and, how soon I need to be somewhere and all of that stuff. Man, the new Ford, that really is a menacing look. In my rear view, it's all I see are the very top of his lights. So he's definitely too close. And I'm not really sure where he wants me to go. Probably just hates me because, I'm one of those loser electric vehicles. But whatever. There you go, buddy. America. I mean, look, that's fine. I love pickup trucks too. Don't hate me because I'm in a Tesla. Although this guy, he's driving too slow. So I'm gonna follow my compatriots here. Should be no issue. Yes. Excellent. Man, this car builds big speed quickly. That, it's still fun. I just, it lacks all the drama of a V8. Or even a nice turbocharged 6 or 4. But, I can tailgate this dude pretty quick. There we go. All right, buddy. don't know why I did that. Just felt like it. So that's definitely going to take a hit on my range, what I just did. You can see we're already down to 90%. So the next part of the drive is where it gets real nasty. As you can see over here, we've got, I don't know if those are the mountains I'm climbing, but it starts to look like this for the rest of the drive. So I'm going to be going up the 14 freeway. And if you're not from around here, welcome. But the 14 freeway just kind of goes up and up and up and up and up. I don't know what the elevation is in Lancaster, but it is significantly higher than where I am right now. And actually where I am right now is significantly higher than like Orange County, for example. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, from here to Lancaster, it's just kind of a uphill slog, man. It's significant. And it just seems that there are a lot of drivers on meth or whatever. So I always have to kind of keep an extra eye out for the crazies. At this time of day, it's usually not too bad. So it's like everyone's going to be cool, and then there will be like 4 meth heads that just, you know, and they're driving Altimas or BMWs, or I feel like the next Altima is right there, the Accord. There's something about those, and comment down below if you've noticed it too. But that latest generation of Accord, it just kind of has big Altima energy. And people drive those things like it's the fastest car ever made. And yeah, I'm just seeing it as a general trend. But maybe that's just a coincidence. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And also comment down below, what do you think the next big Altima is going to be? Because, you know, eventually Nissan is going to cease production of everything, I think. So we're going to need a replacement. And, you know, I think that Accord, I'm thinking it must be like the price must be low enough that it's pretty accessible, you know, and that you can get a 30% interest rate on one, you know, just like the Altima. So that'll be interesting. And I think another maybe honorable mention, runner-up for that could be, as they get older, the Dodge Challenger and the Dodge Charger, you know, all of those Mopar kind of muscle car. And I'm not talking about the ones with the Hemis, because, you know what to expect when you see one of those, or a Hellcat or whatever. I'm talking about like rental spec, poverty spec, you know, the one with the 2.7 liter, that awful engine, or with the Pentastar V6. The Pentastar actually, like, that car kind of boogies. It's got some juice. So that could definitely be a good big Ultima Energy kind of car. So I'll be curious to see how that all pans out. Wow, in the rear view, now you can't see it, old school Kia. I thought, I'm going to let this dude pass just so you can see. Is it a Kia or a Daewoo? I can't tell. But, wow, I don't know if you can see that. I mean, it is a dreadful car. Yeah, it's a Kia. And, you know, when you look at this car, and then you look at like the new Telluride, look at that thing. It is horrendous. It's just, it looks like it's really roomy though. I mean, that's a big dude driving. He's got plenty of headroom. And I mean, fantastic to see an older car still kicking. So I'm not trying to like put down his anything other than just to say that I just didn't think those were very nice. But he's obviously taken really good care of his, and it's still kicking. So right on. But big Mercedes energy in the C300. And I do think the redesign of this car, the C300, that generation, is quite attractive. I think it's a really good looking car. But you know, he thinks it's an S-Class, even though we all know it's the C-Class. So I think, you know, top tip, if you have a C-Class, and nothing against you if you do, hey look, movie, filming a movie. Nothing against C-class drivers, but if you want the prestige, you think you can pull it off as an S-class or E-class, debadge that thing, because it's like, even me, I love cars. I'm obviously, I've got driven in my title, but that C-class, I think it looks really good until you see the C300 on it. So I'm generally not a fan of debadging, but I think that's one car where like you could get a lot more like bang for your buck by taking the C300 off of it and just be like, yeah, it's a Benz. What? Because I do think they did a great job really making that look high end. It's a really good looking car. So yeah. So let's talk. Sorry, I've just kind of rambled on here, but like I said, I've been kind of thinking about returning to form a little bit and doing more of these kinds of videos where I just kind of take you, my friends, along with me for some of my daily adventures. And I mean, I don't know if they're adventures, but it makes the day more fun if I think of it that way. So let's take a look. We've got, before I started the video, rocking out to some Javan. If you haven't checked him out, highly recommend it. So we've done 24 miles, average 272 watt hours per mile. That's gonna, like I said, that's gonna be very much an increasing number as soon as we hit the 14 here. Because we're in a little bit of a downhill section as we head on into the Santa Clarita area, or New Hall, or whatever you call this. You got College of the Canyons like over this way, and if you haven't been over here, it's really quite gorgeous. You've got Saugus over here, and you've got Agua Dulce, I think is what it's called. Really good winery up there. Check it out. There's not much up there, but what is there is really pretty. And I just really like this. I like this area. It's really, really quite beautiful. So yeah, we're going to see, I'm going to estimate probably 306 watt hours per mile by the time we get to Lancaster, because it is uphill quite a bit. One kind of nice thing today is I'm actually early, which is great. So this is a day where I'm not going to be, pushing the speed limit too much. I just kind of want to go with the flow. In general, you can see I'm cruising with my people. Here we go. And, I'll probably keep the speed right about here, maybe a couple ticks slower. And, just a top tip for those of you out there in driver land, I think slow down. Slow down. It's nice. Now look, you saw my hand was on the wheel, and I've got AP Papa up in the mix, which I have found this thing to just be so delightful. And you can see I'm always on the wheel and I'm paying attention and everything. But this has reduced my nags significantly and made the new autopilot much better, in my opinion. Still not as good as it used to be, but it's better. So if I remember, I'll put a link to that in the description. It's under $100. It's just a counterweight, and I don't know if it's legal in your state. I don't really care. I'm just again, I'm not using it so that I can take a nap while I drive. I'm just trying to make autopilot a little bit less naggy, and it does a good job at that for the most part. So that so don't kill me, people. Gosh, don't take my autopilot away just because I use this. Gosh, I'm telling you, the backlash from that video was spicy. But, you know, the way YouTube works is everybody that doesn't have a channel is an expert. So, okay. But yeah, I was just saying, like, slow down. It's nice to drive a little slower. Try and leave a little earlier when you can. I'm saying this to myself just as much as everybody else. Oh, look, the Hornet. God, what a terrible looking SUV. But yeah, it's nice. You use less energy or less gas, and there's less road noise and less wind noise. And it's safer. So, you know, we like that. By the way, I've got to find out what this is. Can you see that? I'm looking at the road. I'm just aiming the phone at the window. So that looks, I don't know if you can see it. So it's like right at Spring Canyon. And I'm not sure what that is, but I feel like it might be Copart or it might be like IAA or something like that. Ooh, what are we going to do here? Thank you, Autopilot. I really do want to do like a Copart walk around. Comment down below if you would be interested in seeing a Copart walk around or a IAA or something like that. There are several channels that I watch where they consistently do those where, and for those of you that don't know what that is, it's where you go to an auction lot, you know, so whenever there's a car that has a insurance claim, either from theft or vandalism or an accident or whatever, you know, and the insurance company buys them, those cars end up going to auction. And some of those auction lots, you know, you can get a membership and walk around the lot and look at the cars, you know, with the intent of bidding on them. And so there are several channels where they do lots of videos where they just kind of, you know, tour these lots and do videos on specific cars and try to start them and show the insides and all of that stuff. You know, and then talk about potentially what might bring the car back onto the road. So it's been something that I've wanted to do for a long time. Due to my music career, it's difficult to have free time to do that, but I keep thinking one of these days I got to get out there and do that. I actually did contact one of the Copart yards and, you know, asked for permission, and I never heard. They were like, oh, yeah, I'll ask my manager. And then I never heard back. So now that my channel is bigger and I have more subscribers, thank you all, I'm thinking I might have a little more leverage with which to get in the door. Because it is really great to be a monetized channel, and that is having more than 1,000 subscribers and more than 4,000 watch hours. And that is really cool for me. Wow, catalytic converter theft, bummer. That's Sentra. But, you know, I didn't realize how many channels have not met that benchmark. And I've seen other channels that have over 1,000 subscribers but don't have the watch hours. So to have both is really a special thing. It did take me a lot of videos to get there, so it wasn't, you know, not for nothing. But, you know, really, really glad that I stuck with it and that you all stuck with me to get to this point. So obviously the next step is I would really like to just explore other avenues of content and make sure that I'm bringing stuff that is fun for you to watch to keep you coming back. And so that's just kind of my thinking. And I've always been interested in like checking out wrecked cars. I really don't want to see the carnage. You know, the cars where maybe somebody met their end or whatever. I have no interest in that. I don't even want to see those, let alone film them. But I would, you know, a car that had a minor fender bender, you know, and it was obvious, everybody walked away, you know, I'm way into that. Or if the car was donated or whatever, it would be fun to kind of tour those cars. So comment down below if you'd be interested in seeing that. So yeah, here we are. As you can see, it's kind of hard to tell, but we are going uphill, and I have filmed a lot of videos right on this road. back when I had my Kia and I had my Lexus LS400. Both great cars. But I definitely saw the gas mileage hit on both of those when we were going up these roads. So let's see where yeah. So we were at like 271. Now we're at 316. So maybe I was way off. We may see over 400. We may be looking at Model X, Cybertruck kind of levels of efficiency. And that's one thing for those of you to consider. If you're thinking about buying a Tesla, check my referral link, by the way. But if you're thinking about getting one, just know that like not all Teslas are created equal when it comes to range and when it comes to efficiency. So if you get a Model Y, which is like one of the best-selling cars in the world, that is not going to get the same level of efficiency as the Model 3. And the Model S is not going to get what the Model 3 gets. So the Model 3 is really like the master when it comes to efficiency. But you start getting a bigger car, and you're going to have less efficiency, and that's just how it goes. That should come as no surprise to anybody. So the Model X is like way worse than the Model Y. So don't buy one of those and think like, oh, I've got an electric car and it's super efficient and I'm saving the world. No. Nope. Now, there's also some truth to saying that like the electric drivetrain is way more efficient than a gas one. So even on a heavier car, you're getting like no drivetrain loss. So the energy that you do use is used more, completely. So, I mean, that is true, but you are using more energy. So the point at which things become equal, I'm not sure. You'd have to figure that out for yourself. I mean, I know for the amount of miles that I drive in this car, even though it's super, even though I am saving a lot on the gas. So that works out great, as a matter of fact. The number of miles I can go on $5 in this car is way more than what I can do on $5 in even my Kia plug-in hybrid. So that part's great, except that I paid way more for the car and way more for insurance. So it really does kind of balance out. But the argument kind of ends with like, I can do 0 to 60 in 3.7. I like that. Like that's actually important to me just as a car guy. And if I'm only going to have one car, I want to have one car that's fun. And even though this isn't like super fun, most of the time it's boring, but it can be fun when I need it to be. And so I do value that, and that's a good thing. Since I've been chatting here, let's see, 46 watt hours per mile. So yeah, we may end up well over 400 watt hours per mile by the time we get to the top of this hill. And I don't think that's far off from when I first got the car. I think that was pretty common, frankly. So, no big whoop. But yeah, I was going to make a video today just about the FSD, because I got a new update pushed to the car last night, and everyone's getting that free trial FSD. And as of the date of this recording, April 10th, 2024, I still don't have it. So let me know, comment down below if you've received it, or if you know how they're rolling that out. Because a buddy of mine who has, I think we got our Model 3s within 3 weeks of each other. He already has the FSD free trial, and he loves it. I want to try it, because I had FSD for 3 months that I bought with credits, and it sucked. Like, no good. So if this new update is as good as everyone says, I am very curious, and I want to know. All right, well, I think that's probably enough chatter for now. I'll do a little update once we get up to Lancaster. I usually stop at Starbucks, grab just a little caffeination, motivation, and I'll be curious to see if they have the new Clover machine. I don't know if you've tried the Clover coffee at Starbucks, but they seem to be rolling it out to most of the stores now. and that's where they brew each cup fresh, which is great. I mean, the flavor is so much better, and you always get a fresh cup. So that I like. However, it's quite a bit stronger, and I'm not sure I like that. It's a little intense for my palate, and I find myself kind of missing the old drip crappy coffee. So I don't know. So we'll see if Lancaster. I usually do the Avenue K and 20th. That's my stop. But yeah, we'll see what they have, and maybe I'll update you on that too. Maybe I'll try a different bean. I always get the pike, but maybe there's another roast that I would prefer. I don't know. I do my coffee black. Never thought I'd be able to do that, but here I am, middle-aged dad. I guess that's just what you have to do. So, all right, y'all. We'll check in at Starbucks. Okay, we've made it to Starbucks. Pretty good. And this one at K&20, it would appear that they just have the regular drip still. So we've gone 62 miles and 293. So I guess once I made it to the top of the hill and then drove, 10 miles or so on the flat surface up here, I guess that evened out a little bit. I'll be curious to see what the average is when we go downhill and head back to the LA area. So that'll be very interesting. So not really, I don't mean to shamelessly plug anything. I really don't mean it that way. However, if you would so choose to buy any of these products using my links, it does help support the channel. And I really appreciate, whatever kind of commission sales I get. It all helps. I just wanted to kind of talk about a couple of the things that I've really been enjoying on the car lately. And the first thing is, like, when I walk back to my car and I see the Arachnid wheel covers, like, this car just looks sick with those wheel covers. I really like them. They are really, really nice. So you can get those from EV Base. Check out my link and discount code. I mean, it's super easy, and I can't remember. It's around $200. Don't quote me on that. But I mean, it transforms the look of your car. So if you have those aero covers and you're looking for something a little more aggressive, man, those are sick. Like, just straight up, it's just awesome. I really like those. The other thing that I'm enjoying is, as always, my Vion roof shade. I mean, and I'm suffering. I don't know if you can see. I'm having a little bit of rosacea, and trying to get medication for that, and it's been a little bit difficult. But it's basically a sun sensitivity, so this is a must-have for me. And I've got tint, and I've got the roof shade. I mean, it's great. And you can see the sun is out in full force today. And I mean, I barely feel like just a hint of heat right at that spot. And the rest of it is like totally cool. Super affordable, really easy to change out. It's really great. So, highly recommended. What can I tell you? And then you can see here, first of all, my vintage Lucchese boots. I think these are cool. But the Basenor 3D, whatever they call them, all-weather floor mats. These things have just been, I've been rocking these for about a year now, and I love these just with all my heart. They are really great. So I'll have a link to all those things. And Basenor is going to be sending me some other things really soon. I'm excited. They're going to send me some seat back protectors, which I need for my kids. I mean, they said, hey, what do you want? I said, I want seat back protectors. They're like, cool, how about these? It was like, great. So I'm excited about that because, it's a product that I actually need and that I actually wanted very much. And also, I've got the new license plate thing on the front from Evor, and that's been great. Like, I love it. And of course, the AP Papa I've been loving. And I've been loving this little storage thing. And I believe all of those were from Evor. So I'll put links to this stuff. Again, it's just like, I'm enjoying this stuff personally. I'm really not trying to shill for anybody. in an obnoxious way. I'm just enjoying these products. So thought I would mention that. And then from Tessery, I got this wireless charger phone mount, which I'm loving. And you can see I have the Vion one up there too, which I also love, because this does block my airflow sometimes. And on a hot day, I kind of don't want it here, so I'll put it, I'll put this on this mount, which is great. And I did install, there's a little magnetic ring. I have an extra one in here I can show you. Both the Vion and the Tessery come with this adhesive metal magnetic ring, whatever you want to call it. So I put that on my existing phone case, and man, it's incredible. It sticks, and it's not going anywhere. So loving all of that stuff. And I just kind of wanted to share all of that with you. Because these are things I'm using every day, and I'm digging them. So just thought, if you want to make your car a little bit nicer and a little more customizable for your needs, I really wholeheartedly recommend those things. And these companies aren't paying me to say that. I'm just enjoying this stuff. So, and if you do find it in your heart to order those, it does help to support the channel. And, and I appreciate, whatever commissions I get from that. It's really awesome. So thank you for ordering the stuff, and I hope you're enjoying it, because I really am too. Okay, I'm going to go to work, and then I guess I'll check in on the drive to Santa Monica. Well, hello. I mean, it's all one video, so what am I saying? But we are on the Santa Monica leg of the trip now. As you can see, lovely Palmdale on my right, and the beautiful snow-capped mountains in front of me. I don't know if you can see that off in the distance there. What a sight. And for it to be like 82 degrees and just as dry as can be right here, it's crazy to see the snow way over there. Absolutely a gorgeous sight. And undoubtedly some great roads over there, for the record. But in any case, almost 4 o'clock, about 3:45, and getting out of town. The drive out of town is always a little bit like a race. People just drive crazy. So I'm heading out to Santa Monica. It's amazing to think that, like, here I am in Palmdale, and like my destination is only an hour and 4 minutes away. And that was one of the things when I moved to Southern California, people used to talk about, they said, like, you can be in the desert and then you can be at the beach. You can ski, surf, and I forgot what the third thing is, but all of these different climates all in one area, which, still to this day is pretty amazing to me. So it says, 448 will be in Santa Monica, and it's saying 43%. So I'll be really curious to see, like, I don't know if I've really paid close attention before to the watt hours per mile as we go down. And that's going to be, so I want to kind of check in with you guys when we get to Santa Clarita and just kind of see how that's looking. There's undoubtedly going to be a lot of rejam braking and that sort of thing as we go down the 14. So I've had kind of an inefficient little bit right now, just because the car was really hot, so the AC is struggling to cool it down. I mean, the AC is nice and cold, but it's taking a lot of juice. We're averaging 534 watt hours per mile, but 308 average since I left the house 74 miles ago. And I have lost quite a bit of battery just due to Sentry mode and climate control. So there's that to consider. And just a reminder, we did start at 96%. So I've lost, almost half the juice that we started with. Little reservoir over there, a little lake, pretty nice. But yeah, there you have it. So I'm going to just kind of roll down the hill and we'll see what that is. So yeah, we're at 491 right now, 494. Let's just call it 500. You're right. That's easy. So we're at 500, and then we'll see where we average at after going downhill for quite a while. So catch up soon. Welcome to Beautiful Santa Monica. I don't know what in the world is going on over there. Brooklyn? Or no, there's a Thank You, Good Night, the Bon Jovi story. Maybe it's for that. I don't know. I don't understand Santa Monica. This whole place makes no sense. But, you know, I mean, the weather is great. It's really nice over here. 70 degrees. It's just lovely. Just had a nice little bite to eat at Whole Foods. I think that's about, you know, the most Santa Monica thing you can do is go to Whole Foods, right? And, you know, it was very expensive. And I just got some of that salad bar and picked up a couple apples and stuff. But, yeah, I couldn't even find plastic bags for the produce. So I think that's about as Santa Monica as you can get. But here we are. I digress. And yeah, so I kind of like moseyed around Santa Monica. Oh, look, Ferrari, eh? Buongiorno. That was cool. I don't know what that was. Maybe if my buddy Adam's watching, he can tell me. He probably has one. I don't know. But oh, sorry, dude. Didn't stop in time. But yeah, so I think because I've been kind of like, there we go. So our average watt hours per mile since leaving home this morning, 267. So I guess that's not too bad. Shout out to my buddy Nate, who just got a long range Tesla Model 3. And he said his was averaging, I think, 265 kind of, you know, overall. So that's good. His tire situation must be different than mine, but I'm hoping I can do a video on his car soon because that would be really fun. But yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty easy day. I was amazed at how quickly I got down here from Palmdale, of all places. That was a nice surprise. It really wasn't that difficult. And you know, like I'm where I need to be. I've got a full belly full of Whole Foods. Whole Foods. And so yeah, I can't complain. So I think I'll probably end the video once I get home or near home, just so that we can see kind of the full day, get a picture of like the full days where the driving and how much of the 96% is left. So, and I'm, you know, if we're already at 41%, I think by the time Sentry mode and climate control and all of that stuff does its thing, while I'm working, you know, I'm going to guess probably get home with about 20%, but I don't know. I am glad that I juiced up to 96 this morning. That was a very good call on my part, if I do say so myself. I don't like this parking situation. I can't tell how close I am. You ever have that happen where you just can't tell how close you are to the... Oh, okay, that was fine. I had plenty of room. You know, it's like, it's fine until you hear... And that's no good. And I've done that. Not in this car, thankfully. These cameras really help, you know, to show me how much room I've got. So that's cool. I even have a little more room. I would be concerned about this car, but I did observe yesterday one person got into this car, not two. So I think I'll be fine there. And if you look at the lines, I've got plenty of room on this side and still plenty of room on that side. So I think we'll leave it. That's fine. Yeah, so I think we'll call it here, and then I will drive home and we'll film that and see what's up. Check it out. The bravest tires in the known universe, Lionheart. I've seen those on Amazon and also on Priority Tire. If you're interested in getting some tires and using my code, let me know, and I'll hook you up with a Priority Tire link too. And you can get some Fearless Lionhearts for your car also. I heard they're actually pretty good. I saw a review. I think somebody ordered that for his like Hellcat or whatever, and it worked out fine. I just love it. Oh, Lionheart. That's a terrible lion's roar. I apologize for that. I'm sorry. All right, I'm going to do my thing, do this rehearsal, and then head home, and we'll see what's left. All right, well, as you can see, it is dark, and this is going to be the last portion of this video. Thank you for sticking around. If you've made it this far, which, you know, I'm sure I'm probably talking to like one person at this point, but thank you, friend, for sticking around. So yeah, it's 9:43 p.m. and I actually made a little stop at my in-laws, and I've got my son with me.
Hi.
Yeah, there he is. And so yeah, we're just heading back home, and I just kind of wanted to go over the numbers and just kind of let you know how we did. So, you know, I started in this area to begin with, drove up to Lancaster, then drove to Santa Monica, drove around Santa Monica a little bit, then made a stop in the valley, and then, you know, kind of Burbank, and then heading back up here. So, long day. I did 171 miles since we left, and it looks like we averaged 278 watt hours per mile and used 48 kilowatt hours. So we've still got 20% in the pack, although we're getting the yellow warning, meaning, or the orange, whatever, meaning like, hey, you should really plug in. So it says I'll get home with like 19%. So, you know, and I believe that. But yeah, we started at 96. Now we're at 20. So, you know, I think the car did pretty well. But still, it didn't even do 200 miles, and I got to plug in. But of course, I was dealing with elevation. I was dealing with heat and, you know, heavy foot and all that stuff. So that's just kind of like, that sums up my day with an aging Tesla and an aging battery. Just to give you an idea with, you know, almost 65,000 miles, what that looks like. Okay, friends, well, I thank you so much for watching. I will have links to some of those products in my description, so if you'd like to pick something up, please do that. If you haven't subscribed, you know, please help us out. That'd be great. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay driven.
Perfect.